Hey, what's up you guys? It's Regen here and welcome to PlanetZoo Console Edition. Today we are going to be playing the career mode, and which is as it says here, progress through a career in zoo management. Well, we pretty much get to learn about how to do a zoo and stuff. This game has been available on PC. Today, as a recording, it has finally released a console version. I am excited to play this, and without further ado, let's begin our zoo empire.
Heyo at Hematu. Yeah. Sorry about that. I have a habit of slipping back into the Planco language. It's good to finally meet you in person. I'm Bernard, although I insist you call me Bernie. The only person who calls me Bernard is my wife. And even then, only when I've tracked elephant dung into the carpets. As you know, I own several zoos, but I always like to show people the ropes here at my home.
Ooh, grizzly bears.
This is the first zoo I ever opened, and a source of great pride for me. And prize, thanks to a lion breeding program we ran in the 80s. But we're in the middle of a big renovation, and that's where you come in. Sadly, our old contractor had to retire after developing a fur allergy. Poor devil kept sneezing his dentures into the lion habitat. So, it's up to you to finish everything off.
I'll try to make you proud.
I'm not completely throwing you in at the deep end. My head keeper, Nancy Jones, will be lending a helping hand. Oh,
Nancy!
she's a hard worker, and she'll expect you to be too. But I'm sure you'll get along like a house on fire, or even better, one that isn't on fire.
Preferably not on fire. Alright, this looks so gorgeous.
Hello there. From that
Hi.
rosy, fresh face of yours, I'm guessing you're Bernie's new hire.
Yes, I am.
Good. Now, I hope you're ready to ditch your diploma because we're about to get really hands-on.
Are we?
But before we begin the real work, how about we familiarize you with the zoo by learning how to fly around it and visiting some of our beautiful animals. We'll start by popping over and having a look-see at the grizzly bears in their habitat.
Okay.
Did you know that grizzly bears, also known as Ursus arctos horribilis, can hibernate for up to 7 months a year? Oh, but then again, given the chance, I think a lot of people would do that too. Select one of the bears and you'll bring up its information panel.
Whoops. Select one of the bears. Alright, we select the bears.
This is where you can find out all kinds of information about your animal. The most important thing being its overall welfare. You'll learn more about animal welfare today as we go through your objectives. But for now, let's enjoy this magnificent animal. Why don't you select the camera from inside its information panel?
Okay.
See, now this is a fantastic way to get a close look at your animals.
Ooh.
Okay, when you're ready, let's pop over to the other side of the zoo and take a look at the lions. I've marked their location for you to find.
Alrighty. Well, hello. You're just gonna plop down like that. Fair enough. You probably had a long day. Where does she want us to go? She wants us to go to the lion's habitat. Where's the lions at? Over here. And away we go.
Panthera leo. All the West African lion to you and me. Lions are the most social of the big cats, and there can be as many as 40 lions in a pride. Although prides of that size are pretty rare. As Bernie would say, those lions are awesome. Which is precisely why
Glistening.
I handle the training instead these days. Anyway, how about we get started on those objectives? Come on, let's head over to an empty habitat and see what needs doing there.
But I want to stay here. Oh, this is kind of small. Or maybe it's the right size. Who knows? Okay.
As you can see, it's a lovely space for animals, but it's missing a certain something. Well, two somethings. Warthogs. So I'd like you to adopt a pair of them. To adopt animals, we need to open the animal market, which is in the animal trading section.
Okay.
There we are. A pair of perfectly splendid warthogs for our zoo. Just select them and choose Adopt. Normally, the animal exchange would be full of animals, but I've emptied out the market while you learn how it works.
You emptied it
The last thing I hate is you
out.
accidentally
Okay.
ordering a dozen elephants.
I mean, but who doesn't want a dozen elephants?
When you adopt an animal, it's automatically placed in the trade center, where they're held until you're ready to move them into their habitat, which, as it happens, you are. So how about you move them into their new home?
All right.
When you ask for an animal to be moved into a habitat, your caretakers will go to the trade center, collect your animal, and deliver them to your selected habitat. I've marked the trade center's location, so let's go and watch the caretakers in action.
While watching them in action, sure thing.
Well, as you can see, those caretakers don't hang about. They'll move those animals to their destination as fast as possible. Of course, normally we'd have to place the animals into quarantine before moving them into a habitat, but I am assured by a person of good standing that these warthogs are in the very rudest of health.
Rudis.
Let's get the warthog's habitat finished up so we can keep them nice and happy. You see, each animal in the zoo has an overall welfare statistic, basically how happy they are. And that overall welfare statistic is itself comprised of 4 different areas: nutrition, social health, habitat, and enrichment. Luckily, if you select an animal, you'll bring up their animal welfare information panel, which we saw earlier, where you can see how they're doing. That way, you'll know exactly what areas need to be addressed. Don't worry if that's a lot to remember. You can always check the Zoopedia for more information.
Okay.
Let's start by making sure we're taking care of the warthog's nutrition welfare. To do this, we'll need to place a food station and a drinking station. Now, each animal requires a different type of feeding station. And for the warthogs, it's a small feeding trough. So let's add one of those and a water bowl. Animals also require stimulation to keep them happy. Let's add a lovely mud bath for the warthogs to roll around in. That bath will count towards their enrichment welfare, specifically their toy enrichment welfare.
Okay. There, had it.
Oh, nice work. You've got a knack for this, I see. Now, our contractor had to leave in a hurry, so this place is in a pharaoh state. Unfinished thingamajigs and whatsits all over the shop. But the first thing we need to finish is the ostrich habitat. It's over near the hippos.
Heading to the ostriches. Away we go.
Oh,
All right.
Before we actually start building our ostrich habitat, let's pause time for a moment. That's more like it. A quick break. Sometimes it's a good idea to pause the game whilst you're doing something which requires your concentration, because it'll stop the zoo spinning out of control while you're looking the other way.
Right.
Let's keep the game paused while we get this ostrich habitat built.
Okay.
Job number 1 here is to add a habitat gate before we complete the barrier. Every habitat needs a habitat gate. After all, how else would the keepers get in and out? Just make sure it's hooked up to the path so the keepers can reach it.
Okay, so barrier. Oh, we putting habitat gate in first. Place a habitat gate. Wait, what? Barriers. Habitat gate. Oh, I had to turn around the other way. Doi.
Right.
Makes sense.
Let's complete the
Carry on.
perimeter barrier so we can adopt us some ostriches. I've marked out an area for you to use, so I'd like you to finish off the perimeter using the brick barrier.
Sure. And I'm not getting into too much specifics in terms of there, but I will do this. And that
Good work. Remember, before you can place animals in any habitat, it has to have a full loop of connected barrier. Now, you've probably noticed that guests can't actually see into this habitat at the moment. At least not without a stepladder. But seeing as they're banned, I'd like you to select a piece of barrier and swap out the brick for a glass barrier, so the guests can see in.
Okay. Just do like I was doing beforehand. We'll come...
There we go.
I say there.
Adding in more windows gives guests even more opportunities to see the animals in a habitat. It's always best to make sure the guests can get a good view into a habitat from the path they're walking on, because it makes them happy, and because this would be a pretty terrible zoo if they couldn't. The last thing we need to do is to add a donation box. You see, when guests enjoy the view of an animal, they'll make a donation. Just make sure you put them in easy-to-reach places, like near a viewing point. Donation boxes are one of the main sources of income for the zoo, so make sure you remember them.
Okay, donation box. We'll put one... Do you want them on the...
Now, before we adopt our ostriches, you should unpause time. After all, if time's paused, then so are our caretakers, which will make it a bit tricky for them to deliver the ostriches.
I will say, unless that thing has showed up, I have forgotten what button to push.
As well as pausing time, you can also speed it up. It'll run everything at 2 times and 5 times faster. It can be useful, especially if you're waiting for money to accumulate or for animals to be delivered to your habitat. Personally, I use it when I'm waiting for a brew to finish. All right, you've finished the habitat, so it's high time we adopted those ostriches, don't you think? Let's get 4 of them in here.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the things. Yeah, descend to zoo, return to habitat, release, quick trade, release to wild. Interesting. Oh, you want us to just place them there? You don't want us to go to like the... I did purchase them, right? I'm not crazy. Yeah. There we go.
While we wait for them to be collected by the caretakers and brought to the habitat, you should get it ready for them. Add a suitable feeding station, water station, and an appropriate food enrichment item. It's often best to place things like enrichments and feeding stations near to the habitat perimeter, so guests can get a really good view of the animals.
Rotating, 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 and there.
Oh, good to see the ostriches have somewhere they can really stretch their legs. Did you know they can actually run at 43 miles per hour? Oh, heaven forbid they ever escape. The speed camera fines alone would bankrupt us.
Build a keeper hut. Build any specific
Bernie
place?
certainly seems impressed. Did he do his speed camera joke? Every time we get an ostrich. So, now we've made the ostriches' lives a bit better, let's do the same for the keepers, shall we?
Okay.
To make it easier for the keepers to feed the ostriches and hippos, we should build a new keeper hut. Keeper huts are where the keepers prepare the food for animals, so they should be placed near to the habitats to make sure the keepers don't waste their time walking when they should be looking after the animals.
You want a classic or the PlanetZoo? Are there any others around here? 'Cause what are they using? Ideally, I like to try and stay. Well, I mean, there's a lot of brick and stones. Ooh, Look at the pea fowl. I'm getting sidetracked, but oh, this looks nice. Anyway, I guess we'll just go with a classic.
Rotate the keeper hut to get it to connect up to the path.
Wait, where were we going? Over here. Okay. And we want it to go the show way. There we go. Alright. Am I satisfied with that? I guess I'm satisfied with that.
This keeper hut only has space for one keeper, but the larger keeper hut can allow multiple keepers to prepare food at the same time. Oh, but bear in mind that keeper huts and other staff facilities shouldn't be placed near to areas where there are lots of guests.
Sure.
Guests don't like seeing facility buildings, and it can affect their happiness. Negatively. In case that wasn't clear. Something that all facilities, shops, and a whole host of other objects need is power. And that obviously includes your newly built keeper hut. So let's place a transformer next to it, shall we?
Okay. Eee. Invalid rotation. Oh.
Lovely work. Now the keepers can start using the hut to prepare food, and thanks to where you've put it, they won't need to walk very far to deliver it to the ostriches and hippos. Let's get on to your next objective then. Bengal tigers. We want to adopt some, but I'm afraid there's nothing ready for them yet. Head on over to the plot of land I've marked out. It's not too far away.
I mean, you pretty much got...
Your next job is to build a habitat from scratch. And concrete and glass, I expect. So go ahead and build it. Just make sure that the habitat includes that big hole we've dug. Oh, and don't forget to add a habitat gate to the barrier. Oh, and make sure the guests will be able to see the tigers.
I didn't mean to actually place that there. So we're going to get rid of that. And let's see. I like the concrete. And then she also said something about we need a habitat gate, complete the habitat boundary, which we have done once we do the gate. We also need to increase the height. How do we increase the height? See, I kind of had it set to like United States metrics, which have been feet, but clearly this thing wants you to be in meters. But besides that, all right, we'll come here when I figure it out. Turns out it doesn't take much at all. Okay, it tells you down at the bottom. I just need to start looking because I wasn't paying attention to the bottom at all. Hold square to edit the height and then you can go up and down. I wasn't paying no mind, but also this is also a good time to be like, you know what? Let's come back to our settings. Where are we at? Let's put it back at meters. And let's resume. So now we can be like this, and we can see it is at, if you look over there, we're at 3.4. It wants us to be at 3.7. So all you do, we got 4.6. That seems good enough. Now we also want some, making sure the guests can view it, right? Nothing over here, so there's no need to put no glass over there. But for over here, though, we can do that, and we'll replace. Oh, we do need a habitat gate. Where's the staff path? Like a power generator thingy. Someone put that over there.
Habitat is in place. Don't forget to put down a donation box near to your viewing areas. We need every dollar we can get. Especially as these tigers aren't exactly eating instant noodles for lunch.
Mm-hmm. I guess people can't walk on this side. Good to know, good to know. Oh, colors. Good to know. There's colors. I was just gonna do this wall right here, but I guess good to know. That looks so weird, having such a tall pane of glass, but okay. Oh, she wants us to have some donations. Change donations. Yeah, I'm going to it. You want donation bins? There's your donation bins. Which I was just on, but to each their own. Let's see. Let's do one there.
The habitat boundary complete. The habitat
I should have put it over there.
And most importantly, the tigers won't be able to jump out of it anymore. I think it's time we adopted those tigers.
You say so. Why can't I put another one? Why does it say inside the area? Anyway. Animal market. We got 2 tigers. We got Viraj and Vina. Okay.
Whilst our trusty caretakers collect and deliver the tigers, let's take a look at preparing the habitat for their arrival. We'll start with the basics. Add a suitable feeding station for them.
I want to put that over there.
This time, instead of adding a water bowl, let's try something different. Some animals need a pool in their habitat so they can go for a swim, but they can also use it to drink from. All you have to do is make sure the banks of the pool have a gentle slope so they can easily get a nice, refreshing drink. There's already a pool excavated, but you still need to fill it with water. You should do that by going into terrain and selecting the water tool.
That sucker came out of nowhere.
Yes, that'll do nicely. Of course, just like the warthogs and ostriches, these tigers will also need some enrichment. Why don't you add some suitable toy and food enrichment items into their habitat?
Okay. Let's see, frozen pumpkin. There. Rubbing pad. We'll bring that over here.
Okay, it's really starting to take shape. Now, the tigers will need a shelter in their habitat so they can hide from the guests, or more likely, the bad weather. Although given that we're in England, you might want to think of that just as normal weather. Go on, add a shelter to their habitat. You can either build one from various suitable bits and bobs, or if you like, just pop down the blueprint that I've already built for you.
I was trying to say, where was the opening at? So, this is a pretty large opening, I'm supposed to say that. Jesus. Oh, I'm not even inside the habitat. Doy. That would be me. Let's see. That clipping too close. We can just scoot it just there.
Oh, poor Dabs. I'm sure it can't have escaped your attention that the tigers look a bit miffed. That's because they aren't too keen on the type of terrain in their habitat. Select a tiger and bring up its information panel.
Too much long grass.
Head over to the terrain tab.
And not enough soil.
You can view the terrain information and see how they feel about different types of terrain. That'll tell you what the tigers need more of or less of in this habitat. Okay then, open the terrain editing tool, select painting, and give them some more soil. Yes, that should help with the habitat part of their welfare.
Well, if they want less, we want to do short grass. What did I say? We do
Right then.
short grass.
All animals need plants and trees from their own biome or continent.
Whoops.
You know, deserts, savannas, Eurasia, Europe, that sort of thing. It looks like these tigers need a few more plants in their habitat. To get a perfect fit, use plants from the rainforest and temperate biomes that are native to Asia. Although if you have to, you can get away with using just one or the other. The tigers will also want a certain amount of their habitat to be covered by those plants. To find out which plants to use and how many, select a tiger and go to the Environment tab. Now, as you can see, some of the plants currently in the habitat aren't quite right for the tiger, like the wattle bushes. You can remove them if you want. You can find all of the plants you need in the nature section, and you can use the filters to only show the types of plants you want to see. In this case, that's plants from the rainforest or temperate biomes.
Oh, I didn't need more plant. Okay, it went more. Let's go. Biome. Whoa. I don't know. I feel like we just got rid of this, didn't we? Tiger, where you at? I need you. No, 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 no. I need you. Come here, you. Stop walking. Yeah, that's fine. Do that. Need more plants. Okay. We'll do a holly tree. Then smack in the center. We'll do like group of 4.
They say that good fences make good neighbors. I guess that's doubly true when one of the neighbors is a Bengal tiger. Still, those tigers look so happy that I doubt they'd leave. Even if you did poke a hole in their fence. Oh, but for heaven's sake, don't test that theory.
Right, let's head over to the Indian peafowls. I've been told that we need to improve their social welfare.
And I'm marking some good stuff.
Now then,
Good stuff.
just find one of the peafowls and select them to open their information panel. Then we can have a good gander at how they're doing. Although technically, I suppose gandering would just be for geese. Expand their social welfare, and we can get a bit more detail. Now, they've clearly got plenty of space, and they're not stressed, but it looks like their social group isn't quite right. So let's find out more. Head over to the social tab to see what's wrong.
Girl, I just did all that. It's not my fault you were a little slow. Where? Now I gotta find another one. Where are you at? Come here, you. Oh, wait.
As you can see, the peafowls need their population to be larger. To solve this little problem, you'll need to adopt 3 more female peafowls. Off you pop to the animal market then.
You mean tell me you only bought one? and had them here. I don't know why that sounds like y'all are heavily at fault for that. Okay, let's just do this.
Good work on those peafowls. I expect they'll be delivered soon.
Mm-hmm.
But sadly, it sounds like our snow leopard is a bit grumpy. Let's head over there and see what's wrong with her.
A snow leopard. Where's our precious snow leopard? Let me guess, no snow. No snow.
Just like people, animals can suffer from stress if things aren't quite right. You know, like when you see someone put in the milk before the tea bag. In the case of these snow leopards, they're a bit stressed by their lack of privacy. You can lower their stress levels by swapping out the normal glass barrier by their cave for one-way glass. It's not a cheap option, but I think they're worth the expense, don't you? This will give the snow leopards somewhere to go when they want to get away from the prying eyes of the guests.
I like how I was like, okay, so I can do things. It's just because they don't happen in the time that you do it. Whee! Alright, so we're gonna select these. Oh, you don't want it, you just want it here. Okay, makes sense now why you wouldn't let me. My bad. I'll start paying attention. We're going to ignore that I just did that. Okay, okay. Let's see, one way. I did that.
Of course, when an animal isn't in its natural biome, it's probably going to be too hot or too cold. Unsurprisingly for the snow leopards, it's too hot. Even with the terrible British weather, you should help cool it down by adding some coolers to their habitat. But let's start by opening up the temperature heat map and having a look-see at the temperature in the leopard's habitat. As you can see, we already have one cooler in there. Let's pop some more down and get as much of the habitat as chilly as we can. Luckily for us, this habitat already has power, but you'll need to make sure of that in the future. Just so you know, if any part of a habitat is powered, then the whole habitat will be powered.
Just this would be a nice little learning curve. Okay, we got 2 there. I'm guessing.
You can find heat maps for all sorts of helpful things, so do be sure to explore them and make good use of them.
Increase the terrain.
It'll take a little while for the temperature to adjust once you've added coolers or heaters, but now we've got the coolers in, we can address the leopard's terrain welfare. You see, what the leopards really want in here is snow and rock, so let's make that happen.
Oh, so you just instantly tell me what to put. Okay. I thought you were gonna make me like click on them to see what they want. So, okay. We'll just increase that size up. And we'll just...
All of that should give you a pretty good understanding of how to make animals happy. So I'd like you to go and check on all the other animals in the zoo and fix up any issues with their habitats. That'll increase the average welfare of the animals across the whole zoo. And that average welfare is a very important statistic. Now, to quickly see how all your animals are doing in the zoo, you should head to the animal section of the zoo management screen.
Well, we already see the giraffes are a little down below. Jesus. Spent 12 grand on tigers. The tigers are the most expensive thingies. They're the only things in the 5 digits. Wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we hit this and this, sure. Welfare. Total number of animals. There's 48 animals here. They cost 28 grand a year. So, out of all the animals, so the tiger was like 12 and the other tiger was like 10. So that's already 22. So $22,000 is literally just the tigers. Wow. Wow.
As you can see, this list shows you the animals' overall welfare. So if
Enrichment.
something's amiss, then you can quickly pop over to them using the locate tool. Right. I'm off for a cuppa while you make sure all the animals are well looked after.
Really? You're entrusting me this early. Okay. I would beg to differ, but sure. So right now, the elephants need... Okay, their socials, they would like a little bit more space. Can't help them with the space part. But they would like some enrichment. Food and toy. Okay, let's see. Do we have any... Let's see. Food and toy. Let's see. We want that to be... elephants? Elephant. I could have just looked at what your name was. Lemur, hyena. What are y'all? Why are you laying like you're dead? I don't like that. You are African savannah. Oh, literally right there. Okay. And it's like y'all wanted some enrichment stuff. So let's see what we can do. We're gonna circle, we're gonna come down here. We're gonna say all the above, why not? A hanging barrel. Let's put that here. And then we can do a large barrel feed over here. And then we can do... Oh, that's just gonna roll away. Sure. We'll put a tree scatter. Did that roll into the... It did roll into the water. Lord. Yeah, I got a little bit of a soggy food, but... y'all may be fine. I don't know. Do y'all want a snowball? Show it for y'all. You can have a large ball. Sorry, didn't mean to hit you. Got tired. And we can do a... I don't know why you would want to scratch pillar. Oh, y'all, enclosure come way over here too. Okay, we can do something over here. Whatever the hell that is. Ooh, sprinkler. Yes, let's get some sprinkler action going. Let's add one more sprinkler right here. How y'all looking now? Welfare 82%. I mean, y'all still say it's space, but I can't do nothing with space, can I? You know, Richmond's 100%. Habitat. Terrain. Okay. Oh, you got no hard shelter. Does not count as our shelter for y'all? Oh, would y'all need more? Now, we could cheat the system. And I don't know if that impedes on anything of y'all or not. I do not feel like looking it up. Oh, or 89%. Oh, so close. We can do terrain. Y'all want less long and more soil, or less soil, more long. Gotcha. So essentially just replace most of the stuff here with some long. And how y'all looking? 90%, good enough. Who's next? Okay, so change of plans. I decided to redo, well, I don't even know where they were again. I done lost them. How did I manage that? Well, I redid the elephant thingy. They're somewhere. Oh, right over here. Yeah. So I took rid of that giant shelter, and I also gave him this large tree, and I gave him some flowers, and fixed the terrain. I don't know how I had the terrain before. I refuse to go back and look at it, but this is how it's looking now. All right. All right. Let's go find our next. Let's find our next victim. Let's see, the giant tortoises. Their welfare looking a little low. Mainly from, they got no hard shelter. Okay, and they also, too much, not enough long grass, and not enough sand. Well, we can fix that. We're going to bring that brush size down though, a lot. And we'll replace y'all watering place with sand, and we'll bring it across there. I feel like we can do that. And then you also want some long grass. I'll give you some, let's see, bring down our brush size a little bit more again, and we'll give you some long grass over here. Alright, as for hard shelter, I don't think y'all do shelter, but anyway, 4x2, that good enough? I would be tempted to do this, but whoops, didn't mean to plop it down. Let's demolish that real quick. Come back. Let's grab that shelter back again. Let me rotate you. Let's see. We want to surface move it? Not really. Advanced move. I mean, you're there. I would prefer. Alright, we're going to. Well, we paused the games that way. It was easier. We're gonna lower you. How far do we want to lower you? I want to say about that. That should be fine, right? Might want to move their bedding though. How y'all looking now? We gotta play. Oh, we're at 65. Okay. Not enough hard shelter. Got it. Alright, so I'm going to... You know what? We're going to try out a manual build. So I'm going to use these rocks. Alright, BRB. Alright, so I didn't do much really. I just duplicated that one that was over on the side, spun it around, and added a couple rows and added some bedding in there. So now they're at 94%, which is better. So now we need to look at their enrichments. They need some food and toy enrichment. We're gonna come to the species. Yeah, they're by nothing. Let's see. Let's see what we give. We can give them one of these. We can give them... Let's give them a colorful ball. We can give them another ball. Oh, actually, we're gonna give them an ice ball instead, and that can like kind of float near the water. Who doesn't love a good sprinkler? A good sprinkler over there. And maybe another over here. Now, how y'all feeling? 80%. Ooh. Oh, yeah, I just need a little bit more enrichment. Okay. A little bit more enrichment. There we go. Let's see what we can do. I guess we can add the other balls. Let's give y'all the pumpkin. Let's give y'all this one. Anything else we can add? I guess we can do another herb thingy. Okay, how about now? Y'all feeling 90%? 84. Darn y'all. Oh, we still need food. My bad. Food? Oh, that is so cute. A little spike tree. Alright, a dog ball can come there. And a block of frozen fruit, which I will just place near the water. Now I'm pretty sure y'all feeling 90. 99. Heck, even better. Alright. You need one more animal? I'm assuming. Yep, who's unhappy? Who's unhappy? I saw something that was in the red. Oh, yes, it's your genetics. Nobody cares about your genetics. You want your enrichment, as let alone the warthogs that we just claimed. And the zebra is... Ooh. The zebras and giraffes are looking like our victims on this list. Maybe... Okay, we're not really worried about the exhibit. Unless the exhibit animals count, then... So, okay, they all seem to be in the same place, though. Alright. Let's see, what are we working with? What are we working with? Turn the habitat. Hard shelter is fine. Plant coverage and terrain is mainly the issue. Y'all want less soil, more long and short grass. I'm pretty sure that's probably going to go count for everybody, so let's go ahead and give this a makeover. Actually, we're going to increase that size to help out a bit because this is going to take a while if I do that.
Alrighty, we got Jimmy Jimmy, zoom all the way around, make that nice and luscious.
Okay, we're gonna come over here. We're gonna find ourselves the whatever the heck the okay, reticulated giraffes and the zebras. Timberwolves, gorillas. Where would the zebras? Where's the zebras? Plain zebras. Okay. Yeah, I want a grab ball. All right.
Not bad at
Oh, yes, that's all.
I think it's fair to say that you've passed the first part of your training with flying colours. There's still lots more to learn, but we'll have to head to another one of Bernie's zoos for that. If you want to grab your passport, we'll head off, shall we?
All right. Oh, we're gonna save, I guess.
Like you got the whole zoo purring away.
Don't transfer me over to the next zoo yet. I don't need that yet. Oh, it's just gonna. Okay, so I guess it is. All right then. All right, so that'll be it for the first part of this series. Thank you guys for watching. See y'all in the next one, where we go to what looks like the ape apprenticeship. Appears to be our next discovery. So I will see you guys there. Peace out.